Well, let's come together as one. They say you're not there, we stand, but there we fight. If we not celebrate, we do it for you. While are you forgetting that? You for love, I can't for marriage.
Exactly. This is the song that introduces Liberia's biggest program at about this time. So this is the biggest thing happening in Liberia right about this time, 8 o'clock. The program you're listening to is Open Conversation on ELBC 99.9. And this is how I would like to officially invite all of you, those of you viewing us by whatever means you're using to assess this program. We want to say good evening and welcome. Welcome to Liberia's premier and biggest platform at about this time. My name is Washington Tapper Jr. And let me cross the table to my colleague, my host, to usher her in.
And of course, it's good to be here this evening again. Thank God for another day, a brand new day. And today is the 17th day of August.
Yes.
The year remains 2023. Inching towards the
October
polls. Mm-hmm. And so everyone seems to be re-energized. We see that campaign is ongoing when it comes to the legislative polls. Legislators or candidates who are running to be lawmakers in Liberia, especially from where we find ourselves in Monrovia. We see the streets are busy every day in every community you go because there are more than 10, 15, 20 persons running in one district. So any part of the district you go, you see activities ongoing. Somebody has to showcase themselves, to the people. People are running campaign because, it's time for campaign, which is a good thing. What I've noticed also today, I know we're not going into trending issues yet until we say the people who are running in these elections, especially those who are contesting in the representative and senatorial elections. Some of the posters, when you see them, you see poverty all over the posters. And I think it's something for these people. Because when you're branding yourself, you're selling yourself also. Sometimes people don't even know who to vote for. But by the time they see your face on the poster, the way the poster looks, the how attractive the poster is, somebody will say, the person you're looking for on this deal. So let me go vote for the person. But some people, when you see how they look on the poster, I don't know whether they have not taken those things into consideration. And when you see some other posters, right, you don't even know who to vote for because sometimes you're kind of confused, especially when it comes to the senatorial and legislative election, the representative elections. Sometimes people are confused. When you come to the presidency, there are just, 2, 3, 4 runners in the race. So people already know exactly who they want to vote for on that day. But when it comes to the representative elections, you have 15 persons running in your district. You have 20 persons running in your district. And when you see some of the posters, they look like Ria Yomi on the posters. Then you want to wonder how they think that people are going to, gravitate towards them to want to vote for them. So I just took notice of this thing like 2-3 days now. I'm looking at the posters and I'm like, what's this? This person doesn't even have money to, put out a very decent poster that is going to attract voters to them. Somebody might say, people already know who they want to vote for. That is not true because there are just many. If you have 3 persons running in a district, 4 persons running in a district, that is a totally different thing, right? But you got 20 persons, you got 22 persons, you got 15 persons.
17.
And you have to, choose among all of those people, especially if you are an undecided voter. You have not decided yet who you're going to vote for in your district. Remember, some people move to other districts before these elections. People register in different districts. Those who were trucked, I'm not talking about them, because if somebody trucked you to the district, obviously that person expects you to vote for them. Whatever way the person looks, you have a deal with that person, so you're going to vote for them. But what if I just moved into this area and I register in that area? So I'm confused because I used to live in, District X, and I moved to district Y. So I'm thinking who to vote for. But maybe the person who I should even be voting for, the way they look on the poster, I'm not, attracted
like
to
you
them.
said,
Yeah.
brain has a serious attraction.
I'm telling you.
Most of these poverty stricken people who have lost, this the senses of directions. Nigeria is just a place where a lot of people who have got relatively nothing to do get into national and serious politics and serious decision making process in the country. Can you imagine a man who you talking about brain? You talking about people looking so different on the some people even get the money to even fund flyers. I'm telling you, some people even get the money to even fund certain qualities and certain numbers of flyers. So it tells you that some irrelevant people who've got relatively nothing to do, who's supposed to stay out of this process, expensive political process, stay out of it. They got themselves involved only because they want to cause some political attractions. That's why they are.
How do you cause attraction when your poster is not even attractive?
So they cause attraction, for people to get to know them in a different form and faction.
Oh, okay. So the next time they will run again.
Exactly.
They just show
exactly. So one or two people
even
can
at that, you have to still do it properly.
Exactly. So some people, that is it. We'll see all kind of. I think so far said they come in with their some kind of flyer. so
anyway, this can also be a part of trending issues. But exactly. Our main guest this evening on the show is Alvin Wisia. He's the assistant spokesperson for electronic media and communications for the Coalition for Democratic Change. We're going to be talking to him this evening on Open Conversation. But let's get into what's trending.
What's trending this evening? So today, the Deputy Inspector General for Operations at the level of the Liberian National Police vowed to protect these elections with all they have. The commonality of the police is all about the preservation of life and property. So the deputy inspector for operations today spoke with one of the local radio stations in Monterrey, and he said that the police will ensure that people who are thinking on infusing violence in these political processes will be dealt with. The police will not leave any stone by the wayside. If you think you are from a particular political party, you have to act in accordance with the law, coupled with the family agreement, because if you go outside to cause disturbance, to be insightful, to be intolerant, to be not law abiding, the police are certainly going to be there to apprehend you and to ensure that you are dealt with, so that be a caveat to other people, because a lot of people are threatening the peace and of this country. They're threatening the peace of the country. They're having unauthorized political assemblies. In these elections, you work with the National Elections Commission so that your assembly can be notified, so that the police can be cognizant that party X or party Y will be in district 2, district 3, district 4. Like exactly you always say this. The CDC has the political itinerary. Where are we going to be today? What are we going to be doing today? In what district? In what district? In what county? They have all of these, atomized on their template. So other political actors, other political parties, when they say party A coming here today, then one politician in one district will group certain people so that they can go and cause violence there. The police say if you are caught in such an act, they will certainly deal with you to ensure that these elections are not characterized and marked by violence.
Good.
Exactly. Very good. save the country. So also politicians are are concerned. I listen to Councillor Lafayette Gu, and also listen to what is his name, the Secretary General for the Unity Party in Mastue. He accused the representative of district number 15 that his flyers, and Lafayette Gu also accused what is his name, countrymen, that their supporters are taking down their billboards and their flyers from strategic, we're just talking about branding here just now, from strategic positions in the district, and we don't know whether this is actually what is happening. But if it is happening, I think everybody has got the right, to campaign. The thing is open. If you put your billboard somewhere to a particular area or to a strategic area, and another politician wants to put his to that same area, I think there should be an understanding wherein somebody will have to put their billboard or their banner or whatever political flyers to certain area where it won't cause any disturbance, it won't cause any misunderstanding. But I think he said this thing will bring a kind of misunderstanding. It is a recipe for violence and disaster in these times of in these political periods. So he was speaking with one of our sisterly radio station this morning, and he was also sending out a caveat to Representative Kamara. And I listened to Lafayette Gu also had that caveat. Lafayette Gu, when he said that they are going to react on countrymen. I don't know, because he was also asked whether he can identify if it is countrymen, people who took down. If he said somebody told him that they saw countrymen, people taking down his flyers and all of that, and so we're just using this medium to allow everybody to have a safe space in these political periods. Yeah. Why are you smiling?
Just go ahead.
Yeah, it's safe space in these political periods. Yeah, if somebody gets your banner or their poster to a particular place, you just go ahead, do what is necessary, avoid violence. Everything about these elections is just about we want a non-violent poster. Exactly.
The thing about it is, it's just so bad that people will not be responsible enough to do the right thing. And again, those who are contesting in these elections have to stand their grounds. Mm-hmm. Make sure you tell your people to do the right thing. I don't care whether, somebody is doing the wrong thing to you. If you sign up to something, stand for something, because you're going to elections, you want the people, the electorates, to see you as that better representation, of them. So if you are a candidate and somebody pull down your billboard or your poster, I don't think the right thing to do is to come to the media and say, I will retaliate, or my people will retaliate. That is not a sign, of a good leader. That's not how a good leader speaks. People have to be cognizant of all of these things. I know some people will say the people who want to vote for me will already vote for me. Agree. Mm-hmm. Because we're in a country where as long as I support Washington, I don't see anything bad that Washington does. Exactly. Which is a sad thing, because I can support you and still speak about the ills that you have done. And because I support you and I want you to be a good leader, I can tell you that, this is a wrong thing. This is a wrong approach. And that shouldn't, seem to you as though I don't support you, or that shouldn't come across as I don't support you. But again, it is what it is. But as a true leader, if somebody does something to you in this electioneering period, and you know that you signed up to the Farmington Declaration, it's incumbent upon you to remain peaceful. You can talk about these things. The police has to get involved. The National Elections Commission has to, get involved. But if you as a leader come up and say, nobody has, monopoly over violence. If they do it to me, I'm going to do it to them. Is it take for time? How can you be our leader and speak in such a form and manner? And the electorates will take note of that. that. If the electorates in a certain are the one they want, even if people tear down all of your posters, they're still going to vote for you.
Exactly.
Because they know the quality that you come with, you bring to the table. So if you are coming out to revenge for yourself, that might lead you to even lose a lot of votes. Because when people hear you speak in such a form and manner, they might not be happy with you and say, but how can this man want to be our leader and he speak in such a way? Because somebody, tore down his poster. Nobody should do that. In fact, people who do that are not responsible enough. Because if I'm running and I tell the people who are behind me, say, you know what, go tear down Washington poster. Let me tell you, the people you are sending to do that, that person will tell another person that, you know what, Titi said we should go and tear down the poster. We did it. And another person is going to tell another person. People would know, they've noticed that, no, the Titi Womoya, she's not correct. I don't think I should vote for her. Why would she tell people? Because they know Damawa is close to me. If Damawa says that this is what Titi said, they will believe that, right? So people have to be smart enough. There's nothing in tearing. You shouldn't be tearing down people's poster because the poster is not going to vote.
No. Not
If
at
I
all.
put my billboard here, you have the right also. There are, strategic places where you can put your billboard. That doesn't mean that if you don't put it in this specific location, nobody's going to vote for you.
And
People just like violence, and it's wrong. People need to stop.
There is a day that the National Elections Commission gave that it is like a holiday for tearing down posters, right? The very last day of the campaign, all these political banners will be brought down. So that day we can use it for tearing down banner holiday. So everybody will be
But it doesn't even mean that I should go and tear down your poster.
I'm just
in
saying,
fact.
something. So
I
that
don't
the
think-
thing about bringing people banners down, so let's wait when the National Elections Commission, the final day,
I don't think we should even wait for that day. If I put my poster up, I take it down. You're not there to go and take my poster
exactly.
down.
So these things need to be stopped. We have to stop it. These signs are provocative, and they aren't good, in these political periods. They must be stopped. And you just spoke with serious logic. Just serious logic. These banners are not going to be the ones going to the ballot boxes to vote people into power. The most important thing is that the message that is going to resonate from the candidates. That's the most important thing. And look, these people are so bent and consistent on the fact that they need to infuse violence and intolerance with insolence in these political period, and it's wrong.
Again, they have ears. They will hear. They will stop. They will not continue to do that. So Liberia celebrates 20 years of uninterrupted peace tomorrow, which is a good thing. Since we signed the Accra Peace Accord 2003. In the back, we need to congratulate ourselves as a country, as a people, that we are celebrating, 20 is not, a small amount of
Uninterrupted
years.
peace.
So we want to, give it up for every Liberian. This is a good thing for all of us to celebrate. And as we celebrate, 20 years of peace, there's no need for us to, as going to elections, enact violence, talk about, bringing other people down. Because obviously, after October 10, we'll be talking something different. We're going to elect a leader. A representative is going to be elected in your district. A senator is going to be elected in your county. And we move. Life goes on. Whoever wins, wins. Whoever is the loser, who all are losers, are going to be losers, and then they have another opportunity to contest. We don't have to bring down this country because we're going to elections. And so we have to celebrate 20 years of peace tomorrow with the understanding that, we can continue to celebrate more years even after the October polls. So if you're a Liberian, give it up for yourself.
20 years.
To all of our mothers, all of our, young people, and every Liberian who is in their own way making sure that we remain peaceful.
20 years of celebrating peace, it came with a lot of responsibilities. Honestly, a lot of responsibility, a lot of concern being attached to where we are today. If we take a reflection, I was fortunate to have seen, the war in Liberia. I was fortunate. I went through that, and I saw what the war did to this country. Look, honestly, if you look at peace, where we are, what we are achieving in a time of peace, we can never ever achieve it when we have war in this country. 20 years of uninterrupted peace. We must be grateful. We must be grateful for the leadership of, the different, government ourselves with the Liberian, the leadership, different leadership that has kept this peace up to today. We must be grateful that the citizen rate has been able to work with these different leadership and different administrations, different sectors, and all of that to be able to maintain this peace. We must be grateful,
and I'm sure
we must continue.
Just a little, skimmages, a little group of people who feel disenchanted when it comes to these elections. But again, that's something that we can get over as a country.
We must continue this peace.
So another good thing is that government has set the rehabilitation program for at-risk youth in motion. According to the steering committee chair, Youth and Sports Minister D. Zilga Wilson, the exercise will begin on Monday, this coming Monday, the 21st of August, starting first in March. They're not going to grab you from the streets and say, you have to be enrolled in this program. You have to agree. You have to voluntarily say that, I want to get out. I think I need some help. And then they're going to get you out. And then it starts with the detoxification before subsequent referral to a targeted rehabilitation centers. So watch out if you're in Grand Bassa, Maigibi, Bomi, Manserato County, and you need some help. You are an at-risk youth, and you really want to get out. There are centers where they will be going. There are different places they've named in all of these counties where they're going to be going. And avail themselves and make sure that these people get some help, the needed help. So we just want to say, bravo to the government since this a drug law was passed into law, signed into law by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Liberia, that the government is not sleeping on this. They have, set in motion this whole rehabilitation program that's going to start on Monday, and we hope that our people who are faced, the young people who are faced with these circumstances, will avail themselves so that they get the needed help.
You see, psychosocial improvement for our young people is very important. It is important because the future of this country depends on the young people to be improved. In the next 20 years from now, President Weah will not be president. In the next 20 years from now, the old folks will leave this country with the young people. And most of the people you found, having these depreciated psychosocial, circumstances are the young people. So the stain of the government to improve on, rehabilitating them is all for the benefit of the country. It's all to improve. Look, the young people have got to be so very serious. Sometimes when I watch the videos, the different videos, I see how these young people have been abused. I'm terrified. I'm very, very paranoid. So, and I'm kind of like, look, we are hoping and we are praying that these people will be relieved and they will be, baptized, and they will get their psychosocial redemption. And thanks to the government for introducing the at-risk program so that our brothers, our sisters, those girls who are in the street, who could be the next representatives, the next senators, the next directors and ministers, and assistant ministers, let them be transformed. Let Liberia get good citizens back and take them from this. We want to give it up for the government. It's something that we have to extol the government for.
And we hope that young people will take advantage of that. It's the right step in the right direction. When it comes to drugs, when it comes to at-risk youth, there is no politics about that. We all feel the pinch of that one way or the other. You have a relative. If you don't have a child, you don't have children who are in the streets, you have relatives who confront you every other time when you get in town. You see somebody, your cousin, your uncle's son, your this, your dad, and you're not happy about it. So let us all encourage our brothers, our sisters to get out and get some help, because help is already on the way.
Exactly.
So I know we got to go to the lines because we don't have much time, but this is the president is still out, on his campaign spree. He was in district number 2 and 3 today again, with the message telling the Liberian people that you have given me an opportunity to serve when others didn't believe in me, and you've seen what I have done, and I've come, for you to give me another chance. And you see how the young people are coming out and, gravitating and receiving the message. It is also incumbent upon the other political parties. We are not seeing anything. We just see the CDC all out or running campaign. We have not seen any campaign schedule for the Unity Party, for the ANC, and also that of the how do you call it? Yeah, the Simeon Fremont Party, all the different parties. We have not seen anything. Where are you guys campaigning? What are you guys up to? Is this a one-house race? How are you acting like you don't have money to campaign and the money is there? Joseph Walker was in the States soliciting money. What is happening?
They've solicited a lot of money.
Yeah, what is going on? Why are you people not coming out to campaign? Or why haven't we seen your or maybe you're not campaigning in Monserrate County because the CDC is here and you want to go to other counties. But let's see your,
But we're not seeing anything.
And nothing is really going on. Isaac was on the radio this afternoon, and talking about calling other counties and asking where people are going to, whether people are campaigning in the counties, and you hear from those counties, people say, we're not really seeing anything, or we're not really seeing anything. We just, people are just all, we're not getting the fever. We need to get the fever, please. It's almost 2 weeks now into campaign period, and we just see people just being quiet on us. Please, don't be quiet on us. And the Liberian people, we even want for you to be quiet on them. We want to know what you have to offer this country. We want to know exactly what you have in store for Liberia, for which you want to lead.
Exactly.
You have to tell the Liberian people.
You see what the president is doing in the different districts. It is the articulation of his messages to the people. What he's done over the last 5 to 6 years, and he is kind of giving a physical illustration.
Messengers have already said he's campaigning on his
deliverables.
His deliverables. Now you were saying that you want to unseat this president. We can't hear anything from you. You haven't said to us why you want to remove this government. What do you have in store for the Liberian people? What is it? Is that blah? No, you got to come out and tell us.
Come and say it.
Yeah.
Then let's make a verbal comparative analysis on whether John is saying the right thing,
Yes,
and Peter is saying different thing. But we just seen them a little much more inactive, very cool, and we want to see the president and his campaign team are all out. And one thing I am seeing, the multiplicity of people turning out in these different districts. It's so overwhelming.
Believe it or not, the president is a human magnet. Wherever he appears, people gravitate towards him. That is something that I always say, that a lot of people who are politicians and running in these elections pray for the kind of grace. Grace, the grace of God upon the lives of every other human being. They're in levels. They gravitate towards other people like they wouldn't, towards you. And if you're in a race with, a human magnet, a political B-52, as they call the president, whenever he appears somewhere, he is just likable. He's lovable. People want to see him. People want to associate with him, regardless of him being, Africa best, world best. That's his past glory. But the president is somebody
He's got this social attraction.
Yeah, he knows how to. What is the word I want to use? And it's not coming.
Mingle with the ordinary people.
Yeah, he has this. He gels with the ordinary people. Yeah. He knows how to make people feel, a part of a whole, regardless of being the president of the Republic of Liberia. He always makes people to feel like being a president is not a big deal. You are still a citizen of this country, and I owe you. I owe it to you as, a citizen. Even though you have made me president, I'm not too big to come down to you. I am your son. I am
I'm your
your
servant.
president. I am your servant. So he interacts with the people like no other person does. Even though the former president, Charles Taylor, had similar grace, people
Yeah.
gravitate towards him, but the way and manner in which President Weah associates with the common people, even Charles Taylor did not do
But
that.
you said the same thing. There are different levels of grace.
He knows how to get the attention of the young people, the older people, the middle age. That is something nobody can take from him. A lot of people wonder how he does that. When
The
he gets,
grace, the grace of Charles Taylor is different from
and
the
his
grace.
lyrics, but when you see Chancellor comes to Liberia, you will see a lot of people like him, they love him. But the president, the current president of the republic, I'm saying Chancellor doesn't, mingle with people like the way President Weah does that.
Social likability comes
Yes.
with certain things.
Socially, President Weah is the people president. You will not be singing any song that he doesn't know, and he doesn't feel too big to associate with the people. He's down to earth. That is why he will walk the streets and doesn't fear anything, because he believes, and the people know that they can't do anything to the president because he's lovable, he's likable. Well, we got to go to the lines.
That's the
because
benefit
I
of
see-
social likability.
Yeah.
That's the benefit.
But it also comes with how you deliver to the people. He always
Oh, yeah.
thinks about the people. It is not about him as a president, but it's about his deliverables also to the
But that's
people.
what we said.
What happens to the common people? And he always gives examples of how he, does what he does.
That's how we say
When he
he's
comes in
campaigning.
contact with somebody who is underprivileged and who wants something, he knows what to say and how to get that person to a better place in life.
The
And that
campaign.
is something you can't take from him. And he's always coming out and talking, and the people relate to that. So I know that
0880-514-096.
somebody is just on this line and saying these people are talking, they don't want to give up chance to talk, and the person
That's the beauty of the
Yeah.
conversation. Good evening.
that person is off.
0880-514-096 are the numbers.
Hello?
Good evening.
Ashinda,
Good evening.
my name is Mr. Gonzalez, and I call from my rehab residence.
Go ahead.
I let us speak on Amos Square. I listen to you on the OPFM this morning. Amos Square is trying to create problem with English KP. I don't live in English KP, but we have a correct program. And even today, I even call on your radio show to make the bomber show this afternoon. Some of them go to your phone and place that flyer on your phone to ask you for your permission. You don't know how to your party, but I want you to put your flyer on my phone. You need to ask you for my permission. So what will Abu benefit from saying you're supposed to pull and myself and put it down? Why it was that I don't in the society? And that decision has always been won by division. So it was just looking for very and to get someone called that the white together as national people. They show like let the minister thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. We go to this person. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Good evening. What's your name and where you call from?
I call from Beaumont, Mr. Sear.
Go ahead, Mr. Tier.
I'm from Beaumont. I call you from Beaumont.
Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to, tell you something concerning the election process.
We're running out of time, Mr. Good evening. Good evening, sir. What's your name and where you call from?
Yeah, good.
Good evening, sir. What's your name and where you call from?
Yeah, I'm Amos Beyond Dream and I call you from Harper, Maryland.
Go ahead from Maryland.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the topic on the discussion. And hello?
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, hello.
Good evening. Hello. I'll take this out of call. Good evening.
Good evening, Washington, and good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, let me start by saying what I saw today in the district. I think our guys in the opposition, they really speaking out at our people. This evening when the president passed to wildlife, and I saw the people jubilating and were lecturing going around district in the Tumbo village. But then I will miss a lady who have a very independent singer. She was playing for CDC. You sit there and you saw there. I don't really wouldn't there dancing. So wouldn't get
Go
dancing.
to the point. I don't have much time, please.
But then I see the other guys there insulting the people, and even they really wanted to talk about it. No, you're leaving. This is what they will do to how they call it, turn violent in this election because they had no message to the people and they had the people quiet down today. So I just want to continue with this. Let us, as we know, let us be peaceful and encourage our people to be peaceful.
I totally agree.
We are one round.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Totally agree with you, and thank you for doing that.
Good evening. We're doing good. What's your name and where you come from?
Hello?
Go ahead, sir. What's your name and where you come from?
I'm Fure Magio calling from Saturday.
Go ahead, sir.
Well, I just want to appreciate Liberian for what they are doing. And I appreciate the president for the good work that they have been doing and will continue to do. I want to encourage our brothers and sisters to vote President William once again. This man is a good man. This man has brought peace in our country, maintain peace, and sustain the peace. My fellow youth, this is our time. Let us vote this president for free education, free university, free hospital facility, free medical facility.
Okay.
So, it's a man from Liberia. 2023, October 10th is our time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for being a part of the program. We're going to take a short break, and then when we come back, we.
From the east to the west, north to the south, yeah, let's come together. I go. They say you're not there, we stand, if I there, we fight. If we not celebrate, we do it for you. Voila, you forget it. You from Lower Country, you from Maryland. Voila, you from Rewa Sets. I'm a bad way on your tree, I walk on the fine way. Tabila, Kriwako. I love Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Free land on liberty, Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
I was raised in the swamp, but I chill with my guns. Kept it on the low, but we fought for the bones. True son of the soil, I'm a prince in my own. Never gonna lie, me, I love that I be. Even though it's far, when we show them we can face it. It's not a prophecy, I know that we can rise again. Holding my hand, I hold in your own. United, we stand, divided, we fall. So that's what they say when I come with ball. When I chillin' on that side, and I get no bro. I got L to the O to the V and the E. If we fighting together, we can conquer this team. From the east to the west, then waving the flag from the north to the side. Yeah, that's joining the team. You go where you pella, you love my crown. Who kill it? Who got it?
I love Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Free land on liberty, Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Mama was born, yeah. Papa was born, yeah. They hold us together, the honey boy, yeah. Nabalike na koya bake na papa boy. Nabalike na koya bake na papa boy. Nabali pole pole na papa boy. Nabali pole pole na papa boy. La biro waka poma o. La biro waka ma o. Baganda anwa waka ma o. Anwa waka ma o. Anwa
From the east to the west.
Welcome back. This is Open Conversation on ELBC Radio. I almost every day, you see now. They kind of need will be calling you. What mic are you on, Alvin?
Mic 4.
Your mic.
I think 4. Yeah, 4.
Okay, good. Alvin Wise, welcome to Open Conversation, and you are here in your capacity as your position there on the campaign team. Help me to call it now.
So thank you ever so much.
I mean, just call your position.
Last year,
You're assistant spokesperson for electronic media and communications, right?
yeah.
Or am I missing it?
Yeah, so it does it, and also vice chair for operations and political education of the Revolutionary National Youth League.
Okay. Welcome to Open Conversation, and it's good to have you this evening on the platform.
Thank you ever so much. It's a pleasure, and I'm honored.
How are you?
Well, I'd like to begin by appreciating God Almighty for having brought us this far, in the midst of the turbulences and challenges. We've been covered by the guidance of the Almighty God, who is the Supreme Spirit. I would like to give him our reference for walking out through the wilderness, the political wilderness. So
you're out of the wilderness now. 5 years on, we're in the 6th year, and it seems you and the CDC are on a very aggressive campaign spree. What is this all about?
Well, the CDC, like we said, many years, to the masses of our people remains Liberia's most vibrant, independent, democratic, mass-based grassroots movement in the country. It's a revolutionary movement. It's a social movement.
Can you pull the
let me just help.
Let me just help a little bit. It's more.
It's okay.
Yeah,
okay. No, you don't need to adjust yourself too well.
Yeah, we're hearing you very well. It's muffling when you get closer.
Yeah, so the CDC is a movement that has transcended political party level. It has gone into becoming a political religion where the masses of the people have taken ownership, the masses of the people have taken leadership, and they are in charge of their own industrial economic fate. And today they are moving aggressively in these campaign processes because you see, when the people become owners of their own socio-economic destiny, they become more participatory, they become more involved, they become more they serve as catalysts to stimulate whatsoever that is necessary in terms of moving their own happiness and comfort. So the political atmosphere is on, the campaign processes has been launched, the referee has blown the whistle, and the struggle His Excellency President George Manuel is taking in advancing advancing directly to the 1-1 victory and on the first ballot.
Okay, 1-1 victory on the first ballot. Although I really want to understand what you mean when you say you have gravitated from a political party to a religion, right?
Political religion.
Political religion. Then I'm like, oh my God. But what's your what message are you pushing to get your standard bearer? You say the President Weah has blown the whistle and you guys are all out. What message are you pushing to get your standard bearer re-elected? What is the message?
Well, the first thing here is that the CDC is the only political institution that has gotten all the necessary organization, the necessary plans, and the necessary political strategies and messages that are geared towards the first one ballot.
Well, you're the ruling party anyway, so
yeah. So we are not just about developing messages. What we are doing is we have left an indelible imprint in terms of the socio-economic transformations, the major project initiatives, socio-economic development, and some of the interventions that the government under His Excellency President George Manuel has been able to inaugurate since he has been given the opportunity to serve the masses of our people on the 18th of January 2018. So, for example, the message in Dole community will be the Dole community's role. For example, it will be the Dole community park. The message around the Bananville, the Douala terrain will be the Jamaica Highway, or the freeway, for example, Japan Freeway, for example, or will be the Douala Market, one of the Gangantuan state-of-the-art markets in District Number 16. The message in Rimba County will be the Saklipier, the Locato Road, for example, the hospitals, the clinics. So when you look at the message in River G, it will be the River G to Harper Road, and you're talking about Blue Salogan Market District in Maryland County. And if you want to talk about the campaign message, you will align it to the housing units, proper housing units being built by the Excellency President George Manawia in Nimba, in Bong, and some of the developments in Mangibi and Grand Basso. If you want to talk about the message, you will now inculcate it within the ambit of the 14 medical hospital, for example, that is being built to buttress our nation's referral hospital, JFK, and the ones that is in Bapur, for example, the Emirate Hospital that is now being built to take care of some medical issues for the people of Bapur County and its environs. So we are not developing political messages simply to bamboozle our people into political rhetoric. Our messages are being developed with the people themselves, and is the people that have taken ownership through the various interventions being made by His Excellency President George Manawia. If you go to the student community, the message is about the free tuition policy. For example, talking about wax-free wax payment. If you go to the market women, to tell you about the multiplications, the market structures that were built. We want to talk about the market right here, or the Guvato market, or you want to talk about the Uru market, the Duburu market, you want to talk about the various markets all over the country. So the messages are not the normal political rhetorics that somebody will come and say, I will do this, I have to do this. The messages are already,
so they're written on the walls. The president has left an indelible print, right? And according to you, and so the people can see from county to county, from district to district. So there's nothing to argue about, I bet, right?
Exactly.
The opposition say they want to rescue the country, they want to fix Liberia, but you're telling the people the hope you can count on. I hear you say, the people are seeing what the president has done. So from county to county, district to district, it's clear, the writing is on the wall. So what is it now that you think the opposition is up for?
Well, I think the oppositions have not presented anything new to convince the broader masses of our people in terms of where they stand in national development, where they are in terms of the transformative agenda of our country. So they are up for political gamble, and those who lost historical.
Ambassador Joseph Boakai says he will build Liberia, fix Liberia. What is it? Bill Liberia. Thank God you know.
Yeah. So those are mere political cliche that we have heard, we have listened to over the period of time, and these things are the normal political rhetorics that are intended to just sway the minds of our people. But the people themselves, over the period of time, have gotten the requisite political education to rebuild the lands. They have put up their spectacles and political lenses to see that these rhetorics are all mere political shenanigans that are intended to lure the people into misinformation. So the first thing, Bouaka has not rescued anything in his political career, throughout his political life. He has been a political parasite for 42 years in government. Bouaka served as LPMC managing director. You know about that, and that institution miserably failed. He has been in total decimation today, and he served as Minister of Agriculture in 1985, and he was fired by the late President Doe for being administratively inept and lack of managerial skill to accelerate agronomic development in our country. And not only that, Bouaka, over the period of time, was given an opportunity to serve as the vice president in the history of this country for 12 years. These people brought the poverty reduction strategy to the masses of our people. They brought the issues of agenda for transformation to the masses of our people, and we saw that there was mass illiteracy, poverty, and economic deprivation under the leadership of Joseph Boakai. And we saw that even in the period where 68 book of concessions were signed at the detriment of the masses of our people, and you saw that education system was a mess, and you saw that even the Unity Party could not tell us how Nuka went being robbed. The Unity Party could not tell us why Liberians were deprived in terms of major economic necessities that could have bettered their lives and conditions in the period of 12 years.
Ambassador Boakai was not at the helm of power. He was second in command. He continues to tell the Liberian people that they can count on him because at the time he served in government, he was just second in command. So he couldn't give any command when the commander-in-chief was already giving her commands. So he needs to be seated, as the commander-in-chief, and the lives of the people will be better.
So the Constitution doesn't really say so, because if you read Article 51 of the 1986 Constitution, it clearly points out that the vice president shall assist the president in the discharge of his or her functions in order to govern the country. That's what it says.
He wasn't given the opportunity to assist.
No. The Constitution says the vice president shall be the president of the Senate, who shall preside over the Senate's deliberations. The vice president, Joseph Boakai, has claimed to be a leader par excellence. He has claimed to be an influential personality within the corridor of our body politics. So he is equally reprehensible of the excesses, the imbalances, the economic injustices that have been perpetrated against the masses of our people, because he cannot separate himself from the Unity Party decadence. So Boakai himself is equally reprehensible for the economic miscarriages that the masses of our people encounter under the 12 years of the Unity Party misruled. And that's why, as vice president and head of the Liberian Senate, he is responsible for the book of concessions that were signed under early administration. He's responsible for the mysterious death of Harry Griff, Marco Allison, and all these injustices that were perpetrated against the masses of our people, whether you talk about the economy, poor health facility, whether you talk about education, the security, and the rule of law. So nobody will think that Boakai is something new. Boakai is an old-fashioned who is a representation of the historical bit of past.
I hear all of what you say about Boakai, right? Ambassador Boakai, or the Unity Party standard bearer. Are there, some unfinished businesses for which the president, or you want the standard bearer to be given a second chance? Do we as a country have some unfinished businesses that His Excellency has to complete, for which he needs to be given a second chance?
Well, like we said over the period of time, Titi, that the CDC is not desperate for re-elections. What we are desperate for is service for elections. That's why.
What is that supposed to mean?
If service for elections, when the social contract theory was propounded by Jean-Jacques Rousseau, he said that the best way to transform the lives of the people is for the government of the day to adequately respond to the needs and aspirations of the people through responsible citizenship. That is, we give you our votes in return. We give us basic social necessity to empower us. So let's look at President George Weah and why he should be re-elected on the first ballot. Let's see how he has taken this country. Where did he start? Where was the economy at the time? Where was the health sector? Where was education? Where was rule? Where was the rule of law? And all of those, if you encapsulate that, looking at where he began in 2018, President Weah has technically and relatively govern this country in 3 years periods, taking into consideration the COVID-19 crisis. It has an adverse effect on the global economies, etc. But President Weah, in these challenges and turbulences, had a dramatic turnaround about governance and practical demonstrations of some of those things that the people of Liberia have been requesting over the period. For example, you look at education. The students will have a reason why they think they can really elect President we are on the first ballot. No president since the foundation of Liberia has given free education to more than 200,000 of Liberian citizens. This is unprecedented first in the history of this country.
So we already have free education now.
Free education.
What else does President Weah want to do when it comes to education? Does he have anything that he wants to do for which, Liberians will be excited and say, okay, President Weah has already given us free education. We go to University of Liberia free. The WAS payment for our children has been taken care of. Is there any other thing he has to do in the educational sector of our country for which he should be given a second chance?
Yeah, development has different trajectories, and their process is not an event. So if you provide free education, then you need to work the technical details to see how best you move towards sustainability. And there were the CDC government comes, they were President was asking for a second term to sustain the gains, because we need to sustain the gains. Take, for example, what is going on between the Bank County and Dalalofa, the corridor, the road corridor. The president needs to complete that road in the second term. Take, for example, the southeastern road where fundings are, the southeastern road where the fundings have been already generated to connect Nimba County to Granjide and the entire southeast. It is the president who is thinking about that on his second term when he shall have been re-elected. Not only that, you're talking about his developmental agenda in terms of how you can decentralize governance by providing free medical facilities that he did in Mangibi with the 14 medical hospital he's doing in Bapuru with the Emirates Hospital. He's trying to decentralize it across the land of this country. So it's prudent enough that when you give the president the opportunity to preside over the governance architecture of the country for another 6 years, he will be able to sustain the gains. He will be able to he will be able to carry on more developments, more projects in these countries that are yearning for change and transformation.
Do you think the masses are buying this explanation? I am not talking about Montserrat, but in other parts of the country. Are the people in Bone County listening to this? Are the people in Granjide, Maryland, Lofa, Nimba, are they buying into this? Do they believe that, what President Weah has started, he needs to be given a second chance from your observation?
Exactly. You see, the most, in fact, the people who are following, who are really driving these re-election messages of President Weah are the people in the hinterland, the rural areas. What you're talking about? Nimba, Bank, you're talking about Granjida, you're talking about all these counties. The president is been very, very, his approval rate in terms of re-election is astronomically high because of the socio-economic transformation that the president has been able to put in place for the development agenda of our people. So, Montserrat is not the only place that the president has gotten a massive political support in terms of his re-election bid. Because let me say this to you, the politics of the 70s, where people take back our rights and just dash it in the faces of the masses of people, the politics in the 70s where people use religiosity and tribalism to bamboozle our people just for political relevance and votes are no longer the playing out. The people are not seeing many years, many presidents have come and many presidents have left the presidential palace. They have not seen anything tangible, anything developmental. It only took President Weah on 3 years to teach the presidency, to take it from the executive mansion and to carry it to Lokato, to carry it to Nimba County, to carry it to Granjide, to carry it to Maryland, River G, Grand Crew, Lofa. Everywhere, the president is the only president have given time chiefs, for example. I mean, parliament chief, vehicles and motorcycle, for example. This president is the only president that has electrified all capital centers in the Republic of Liberia Go to Fuya today. Fuya has quota. So the people are saying to you that they prefer not to be bamboozled by the politics of the stomach infrastructure, building the stomach, putting rest, and not developing our roads and not building our hospitals. So those who come with empty political promises, the people are not saying that go address it. Look at Lofa. Since 1964, Lofa was established. This is the first time the people from salary are experiencing quota. And when you let President Weah, the quota is reaching Vojama. The same with the people in Lima, the same with the people in the southeast.
Mind you, Ambassador Boaka comes from Lofa County.
Yes, so
the people of Lofa County are traditional people. They don't let their uncle down. With all of what President Weah is doing in Lofa County, where do you get the assurances from that, the people of Lofa are going to choose, development over tradition? Where do you get that from?
I got it from the dangerous appeal the people show the political rejection of Boaka in the just ended senatorial elections in Lofa County. You saw the entire
Unity Party folks will say to you that he was not a candidate of the city.
Yes, he was a candidate of the city. He was not a candidate, but he has a representation. He campaigned. He went there. It's the place where you prefer.
Even though CDC campaigned for him there, but he wasn't on your party's ticket. So they believe that even though Boaka's candidate did not win, but they don't believe that you have that, a power in Lofa County.
Yeah. So the politics in Lofa have changed dramatically. In 2017, dramatically, the CDC have more visibility, the CDC have more supports, the CDC have more tangibles, more projects than any other government, even the Jose Yima Boaka. Politically, he knows that very well.
It's not disputed when it comes to the project
the people are saying, that in the words of John F. Kennedy, he said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. What has Boaka done for the people of Lofa County?
Are you saying he hasn't done anything for Lofa?
What has the ADA project, the $30 million United States dollars of the ADA project, were miserably pocketed in the hands of Joseph Boaka and cronies and a few political despots? Boaka has been a political liability and parasite on the people of Lofa County.
Do you think
Lofa has made Boaka to be the FPMC managing director. Lofa made him to be former agriculture minister. Lofa has made Boaka to be former vice president. With all what Lofa has done, what has he done in return to the hospitable people of Lofa County? The people are saying to him that this tendency of so-called tribal hierarchy of uncle, that thing has been rejected. Evidence of the recent elections results in Lofa County, where the CDC and Chief Thomas Fala, the less of Thomas Fala, and Lofa has so many representations of their citizens or their sons and daughters within the Lofa County, within the CDC government infrastructure. So politically, the people are saying to you that Boaka has benefited so much. So we want to de-individualize Lofa County.
From your own observation and all of the work you're doing in Lofa County, on a ratio, what do you think? How much of the votes CDC is going to get from all of what she's doing in Lofa County? She's going to get 10% of the vote, 20% of the vote, 50% of the vote, 100% of the vote. What would you say?
Well, the CDC, the first thing
I'm talking about the votes in
Lofa County. The CDC is going to win Lofa County. Remember,
win Lofa?
Yes, we're going to win Lofa County. Politically, if you look at the climate now, it's changing. It's changing. Boaka now is drowning. Boaka cannot go back home. In fact,
what do you mean when you say
Boaka cannot go back home? Boaka uses helicopter to go for the last years. As far as concerned, Boaka has not gone. The last time Boaka went back home, he was rejected. Politically, I'm saying to you,
you're bluffing.
I'm saying to you, with the work we are doing with Senator Ja, the work we are doing with Moses Corey, the work we are doing with Thomas P. Farasa, Joseph Finabono, the sons and daughters of Lofa County that are running up to Joseph Imam Boaka and say, look, Boaka must de-individualize Lofa County. We must say that Lofa County is not a county against government. Boaka has a term. And nobody is responsible for his political misfortune. He was given 42 years What has he done for the people of Lofa County? Nothing else. He cannot continue to be a liability on the people of Lofa County. The people have to move forward. The people are seeing road coming to them. They will not reject President President Weah too is a son of Lofa County, as a matter of tradition, as a matter of precedence. The people of Lofa County are saying that since 1964, the president is taking road to them, and they're not going to reject the president because of Joseph Boakai. Joseph Boakai has served his term, and he has to retire democratically.
So it seems as though the CDC's focus is only on Joseph Boakai and the likes of Cummings, the likes of Tiawon Gonglo, the likes of the DSTV mayor, Simeon Freeman, are going to kind of, cause some problems for the CDC. Are you taking that into consideration, because you seem to be so focused on Joseph Boakai?
No, we are not overly concentrated on Joseph Boakai. Politically, he's an insignificant element on the periodic table.
How will you say that?
Joseph Boakai was beaten before 2017. He'll be beaten again. He's our normal.
So what about the other?
He's our normal.
He's
our normal whipping man. We whipped him before, President. We have won 14 counties out of 15 counties. You know about that. And Joseph Boakai is just a tool in the hands of desperate politicians.
At that time, President Weah had not become president.
Yes,
now he has served his first term, so it could be different.
Yeah, at the time, so at the time he did not provide free tuition. He did not build a local road that is moving towards one, and all of these development projects. So the people are now have a fair appreciation, and they are properly evaluated his development skills and capacity to transform the society. Unlike Boakai is not. What has Boakai managed in this country?
What about Cummings?
What has Boakai managed? The entire CPP, Boakai called crisis today. The Unity Party is divided. The Liberty Party is divided. We are talking about how the opposition to get united so that we win on the first ballot. We are discussing Cummings. We are not even discussing Simon Freeman. We are not discussing these people. The debate is between the opposition versus the Liberian people. That's the conversation. The people are saying.
But they're in the opposition.
Yeah, so the opposition. You can, first of all, what campaign message, what extra campaign message? For example, I asked one of my friends in the opposition, I said, if you were to go to university students, for example, what campaign message can you give these university students to convince them to vote for their vote? Because President Weah has given them wax, President Weah has built universities, there's a free tuition, he has given them free tuition. What would be your campaign message to the people? You don't have campaign message. What would be your campaign message in Nima County? That you obey rules? The president is on the rules. He's obeying the rules.
Why are you talking about Nima County? So the last time, Senator Prince Johnson, we had your deputy campaign chair here, who is from Nima County. And Senator Johnson called in on the show. And he says that all of the things you're doing, come October 10, the people of Nima County know that he liberated Nima County and they are going to vote for whoever he supports. And you saying, the Nima people know what President Weah has done for them. Are you underestimating the powers of Senator Johnson?
The first thing, Senator Johnson of the 80s is not the Senator Johnson of 2003. There are two different Senator Johnsons.
What do you mean by that?
Yes, there's Senator Johnson of the 80s. It's not the same. Popularity can diminish.
You think his popularity is diminishing?
It can diminish, especially when you did in fraud and deception and conspiracy. The people of Nima County now have graduated from the mere political rights of Prince Johnson, and that's why you can see today the wave of electrifying enthusiasm for the people to reject Prince Johnson is at a very high momentum. Look at the political dynamics. See the forces. See Wally Sowa Dona. See Regina Men. See the other how do you call the guy? Garrison Yellow. And you see the couple of these people. See the kids, the elders. See the young people. For example, they are saying to Prince Johnson, but Prince Johnson, we gave you 18 years. 18 years. What have you done? 18 years as senator, you have generated millions of United States dollars during the wartime. What have you done to build roads for the people? How many clinics do you have on your domain, at your disposal? How many hospitals have you built? How many young people you took out of this country to give them scholarships? How many vocational schools have you built? You have one. And that one is expensive. Is being eliticized because he has a separate political. I mean, he activated a system where his university is very expensive, and only the privileged can. So if you look at Nima County, for example, people are saying no, you cannot be Tomande. Okay, we cannot Tomande Nima County. We gave you 18 years and you cannot go for 27 years. That is Tomanization, and you're going to be rejected. The first thing Prince Johnson is struggling for his own re-elections. Prince Johnson is struggling. This is the election where Prince Johnson will be beaten and be retired politically, because the people of Nima County are tired that this woman always using the politics of war drum to go against government. And the people of Nima County are clear this time around that they have come from the war, that there is no need for liberator, my fault. Liberator without road, you without clinic, without hospital, liberator with no scholarship, liberator only get money for 18 years and for here and family. The people are saying Nima County is not a political party. That's what they said. You see, that Nima County is not a political party. That one man can just sit down and try to politically manipulate the people and get resources at the detriment of the masses of the people. So it's not a political party.
Is that the message you're getting from Nima County?
Yes, I'm saying the people are saying that you cannot continue to stigmatize Nima County and put Nima County against government and put Nima County against presidents all the time. Nima County will not go against no president. That Nima County did 12 years on Ellen Johnson leave. Nima County believe that President William will give me 12 years to build the roads across Nima County, to build the hospitals, and to take the road from Topital to Grand Gila County and connect the southeast, so that macroeconomic activities and the market forces can interact, so the people can have sustainable economic development.
So let's stay with Senator Johnson for a moment. You're talking about the diminishing factors that are responsible for Senator Johnson being defeated in these elections. What are some of the outlining diminishing factors that you could point to that are responsible for his diminished political career?
The first thing is that there's something they call in Latin the vox populans vox we. The voice of the people is the voice of God. Look up, for example, Prince Johnson. See, when he organizes a press conferences, they have people go asking when he entered Nima County. The people don't even come around. They are saying to you that 18 years is enough for you. You cannot continue to tell the people that the government is against. No government. In fact, the people of Nima County are named President William Segozi. He's a replica and direct son of the soul. And that's why you see President William today is being highly welcomed in Nima County because of the level of socio-economic transformation. So President Johnson politically has to meet Roland Duo in the political theater. And he knows what it means to meet Roland Duo. When that president is struggling for his own elections. And that's why I'm sorry for Jeremiah Cohn. Because Cohn has been told by the people that, look, we made him representative in less than 2 years, begin senator. So how can you gamble 6 years for 6 years? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. The people already have their son, which is President William, as president. And you say Nima County must more abandon the broad presidential post and go for a vice president. I mean, more abandon the presidential post and go for a vice presidential post.
I'm talking about you outlining the factors that made him to be politically insignificant. So one of the factors you said was what?
So he doesn't enjoy the broader support base,
the social confidence of the people.
The social confidence of the people. He doesn't enjoy the broader support of the people in certain areas of Nima County, for example, because he's been rejected. Prince Johnson has no development in Nima County. The chiefs, the elders, and people are saying to him that you cannot go against President.
He has a poor working relationship with the chief, the elders.
Who spends 18 years and there's no trace of evidence of projects in Nima County? Who spends 18 years as senator? And everything is being aggrandized by his selfish political interest. Who does that?
So yes, conclude.
Yeah, so if you Prince Johnson cannot catalog what has he done aside from the normal war drum, I fought for the people of Nima. Everybody fought, yeah. Even the ordinary people fought. There were people who lost their lives. There were people who got killed in Putuo.
Today,
that means it's a time that the people of Nima County are having a sober political revival on the statement being uttered by Prince Johnson all of the times that I fought for liberation. So in return, you have to give me the political seat. Is that what you're trying to say?
So the people now are being consciously politically aware that this is an act being orchestrated by President Johnson to perpetuate himself in the adulum of the leadership of Nima County, to always say that he fought. Are we still fighting war? We are not fighting war, comrade. We are discussing economic growth. We are discussing the development of our people. We're not in wartime. So if people give you 18 years, calculate 18 years from your age. Calculate 18 years.
A lot of people
see, minus 18 years from your age. See the number of years that Prince Johnson has spent over Nima County.
A lot of people are concerned, Ivan.
What has he done in terms of providing road, in terms of using your ability to provide education, in terms of using to provide hospitals, and in terms of provide macro loans for the people of Nima County? What has he done?
A lot of people are concerned. We're talking about continuity and sustainability as a political institution, because you said you guys have graduated from being an institution to what? To
being a political religion.
Okay, religion, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you're talking about sustainability and continuity, right? Now, we want to look at the borders or in the cycles of the CDC. Now, President Weah is the flag bearer in the front liner of the CDC. Now, some people are thinking, okay, some CDC is bragging about President Weah, he's the B-52 and all of that. So, in case President Weah it turns over the leadership after serving the Liberian people for how long he wants to serve the Liberian people, the mandate given him by the Liberian people. Can we look in the CDC? Can we see a replica of President Weah who is going to have the social political magnitude of the people? Can we see someone? Can you disclose to the Liberian people that we have a second President Weah, a third President Weah, a fourth President Weah who is going to live in sustainability and continuity of the prospect this president has got to offer this country?
That's a very brilliant question. If you look at the trends of leadership of President Weah, that question drives toward what you just stated. The first thing we asked, when President Weah started the embryonically from the historical typology of the CDC's establishment and formation in 2004, many people doubted his ability to lead. In 2011, many people also doubted his ability to lead. In 2014, 2016, 2017, he brought three political parties together. He led the opposition CDC for 12 years. He managed it very well. In 2017, he brought three political parties together. In 2022, he brought 6 additional political parties to 2023. 6 additional parties, making CDC to have 9 constituent political parties. That is demonstration of excellent leadership by excellence. Not only did he demonstrate leadership by excellence and excellent leadership, President Weah has been able to inculcate what we call the institutionalization of the CDC. Today, you can see motorcyclists union of the CDC. You can see many auxiliaries. You can see young people coming forth to provide leadership. You can see the women's league in the CDC. You can see the youth league in the CDC. You can see the disabled league in the CDC. And you can also see that the CDC has given women participation in terms of the intra-governance of the CDC. And if you look in the governance of the CDC cabinet ministers, you realize that the CDC also have women participation across. So you ask the question about after George Weah has built institution. So unlike the opposition, for example, where a post-ANC a post-communist ANC, that is assuming there is no communist in the ANC, there will be no ANC, because there isn't an institution being built like the CDC that has been organized and structured. The CDC has zones. The CDC he has coordinators across the land of this country. If you take Joseph Baga for United Party, you cannot predict anybody. If you take Musa Belete over the United Party, Liberty Party, you cannot predict anybody. So the CDC has been the only institution that has decentralized leadership. So with how George Weah, that is after he shall have completed or he shall have done with his tenure in terms of 2029, there are more judges we are coming out of the CDC. There are more judges we are coming out of the Coalition for Democratic Change, because Georgia has empowered people. He has made people. Like, for example, the Yana Boss, the Avin Wizard, the Mamasi Kaba, for those communities. Show me one person who Obaga has transformed.
This is Avin. This you're just circumnavigating, and I just want you to hit the point. This has been the doubts in the minds of the people that you guys have got nobody, with the exception of George Weah, to continue all of what he's doing. Now, you guys have been mischaracterized. You guys have been talked about in a negative form and manner. Now, I'm telling you to protect. There are a lot of people in the CDC. Who can you protect? Protect them now, so that Liberian people can put them under the microscope to start scrutinizing them, so that in the absence of George Weah, when he's doing services to the Liberian people is over, the Liberian people can start looking about and looking for the next George Weah.
So the first thing
to the microphone.
Yeah. So the first thing to understand is that like the Algerian revolutionary will say it, Frantz Fanon, that every generation has a mission, either to fulfill or to betray. We should be contemplating and should concentrate on the mission of President Weah, rather than who can we project now, because the generation of President Weah cannot be the generation of Avin Wise. President Weah is on the stage. How can we measure his successes through the development outputs in the under 6-year periods? That should be our conversation.
Now, Avin, let me ask you this question before we go to the lines. What is your take on what is happening? We see some skirmishes of violence, especially when it comes to the young people. We hear people talking about their posters being tuned, down. We hear people from the Unity Party. A lot of them are saying they're talking about what happened the day you went to District number 9 and 10. Ambassador Boaga says the Unity Party, the CDC should note that there is no one political party that has monopoly over violence. What are you telling your people during this electionary period when it comes to staying away from violence?
Well, we have informed our partisans, we have informed our people across the 15 sub-political divisions of our country that the violence is not an option for providing an enabling democratic environment. We are said over and over today that we are all nurturing this democracy. We've been told that we'll have the celebration of 20 years of uninterrupted peace and stability since we've signed the Accra Peace Agreement, Accra Peace Agreement. So basically, if you look at that and you read from when President Weah has come, being United Nations Peace Ambassador, being Liberia Good Ambassador, being ambassador on the late Dr. Sawyer, being peace ambassador on President Sirleaf, with all of these injustices and imbalances that were perpetrated against the CDC, President Weah has always been able to be a symbolism of peace and security across our country. So we as young people, we are asking our partisans, we are asking our supporters, citizens across the length and breadth of this country to refrain from violence. Equally so, we want to send this as a clear caveat that citizens must also remain mobilized. Citizens must remain very vigilant in these elections. Citizens must be very cautious of the fact that we are aware that Joseph Newman Bwaka and his band of warlords being paraded in the Unity Party have understood today there is a current survey conducted by a few Russians that were inputted in the country by the Unity Party to stand up Joseph Mapaka to conduct a survey about to conduct an election, let's say voter perception survey to know where the Unity Party stands. These Russians have come in the country, and it is interesting to note that they have told the Unity Party that the CDC the CDC is winning these elections, given the survey with 47.4% of the elections, in terms of the level of survey being conducted so far by the secret Russian agents that have been imported in the country. On the basis of that, what the United Party is now retreating to is to plunge the country into violence because they know very much that they cannot go.
How credible is this?
I'm telling you, look, let's see how you see the way Yoko Koluba spoke yesterday.
Are you afraid of Yeke Koluba?
No. I'm saying if you say he will kill the president, those are some of the speeches. Those are some of the exclamatory statements and comments that are inflammatory to causing chaos in the country. Those are. Have you seen Baka coming outside since he returned the country? Titi, have you heard Baka apart from what he did? Say organizing a campaign team. Baka has not come back Baka has not gone anywhere. Because they have lost the elections, they have lost democratic legitimacy with the masses of the people that have been rejected. So the only thing the guys are beating is to beat the world drum. And that's what we are saying our people that they are losing. We are calling our people not to dance to the gallery, the political gallery. And we are saying emphatically that Joseph Imam Bwaga has to publish the reports from the secret Russian agents. And that's why we are calling on all our Palestinians as well to not follow the policies of the Unity Party. President Weah is campaigning. Look at what happened in Mosul County, Titi. In this rainy season, see what happened, what's going on. The masses of the people are converting from district to district. We told our people to remain in a district. You can see that there is an acceptance. There is an acceptance of the people at every district president. We are girls. You can see the mammoth assemblies of the masses of the people telling the president that you can win the elections on the first ballot. So what is left for Bwaka now is the political table. That's what left for Bwaka and his cronies, because they understand that they are just a group of former government officials who are criminals, are looted, plunderers, who industrially stole from the covers of this country, and they are being indicted on the pages of bad governance and corruption, and they don't have the moral rectitude to go anywhere to campaign. They do not have the political faces. Look at the campaign structure, for example. How can you, Titi? How can you develop? Look at the campaign structure. You bring Darius Dillon, for example, Titi, as a national, as a face of most American. This is the man who lied about everything in his life. Today he has no moral rectitude to go to the people of Mosul County.
That's what you believe, but the CDC does not believe that.
So we say that the Young Militant, for example, has struggled to even win a senatorial election in Lima. In Grand Basso County. How can you make her a campaign manager? How can you make Dillon a campaign manager for Mosul County who does not even who are feel miserably and have not even apologized to the people for lying and for stealing from the people and misinforming the people or the people after the people have elected him. So the entire campaign team is a failure by itself. The Unity Party is struggling. In less than 3 years, they have changed 3 different headquarters. They cannot pay rent on their own. Is shameful and pathetic. And for these people, so they can't govern themselves. The opposition can't govern themselves.
Ambassador Bwaka was speaking 2 days ago, and he was thankful to those who, according to him, the headquarters they're using now was given to them almost free. And so
he's always on political scholarship. That's how he looks. He's always on political scholarship.
Person for media and communications. Alvin, we say change is our guest this evening on Open Conversation. It's about time you weigh in on the conversation this evening, and we give you that opportunity right now. Call us on 0880-514-096, and you'll be live on Open Conversation.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Oh, we're doing good. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Peter B. Mobile, and I call from Mombasa.
Go ahead, sir.
When our brother said the political party is full of violence, today someone just taking place to Mombasa here. A guy was in a car while we were somewhere on the sea, ready to Mali to get to the town. He just opened his car. Look at these people coming. He just like insulting us. You understand? And our chairman, we say, yeah, we are good. We are something like this. So instead of all regarding violence to him, we let him go and we decide to come to the bottom today. So we don't offer violence. We know that violence is still. Thank you for the information.
Thank
For
you.
sure. I rest my mind for that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Good
being
evening.
also civil when people are not civil. Thanks for being civil.
Good evening. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name is Bishop P. Choloke, and I'm calling you from Baptist Seminary at Fina 14.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I want to be grateful to Comrade Albert Lisa for deliberating very well. And let me say this to you, I'll make my point. I was saying that we cannot allow Fulabred of football and related kids. We will take over Fulabred and I'll go on. Having with you have spoken well tonight. It is very, very important to elect all citizens that we should stay strong and campaign to every street corner to make President we are a continuity president to give maximum development of what he's doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Good evening, sir. What's your name and where you call from?
My name is Paul and Cooper, and I'm phoning tonight from District 13.
Go ahead, Paul.
Hello, journalist, and to your fellow guests, it is very shameful that your guest is in the government and they're in control, and yet he's still accusing people in opposition of being corrupt. For 12 years, this guy told that class kept around here and accused people of being corrupt. They give the power, they do not prove, they do not show anything that these people are corrupt. You come and say you still having whistle or having whistle, you still accusing people of being corrupt. What have you done to prove that these people are corrupt? Because you failed. The USFOA report says that Liberia is one of the world's most hungriest countries. It's full insecure.
Hello. Hello. Are you hungry? Wait now, this thing that I'm flour will make here. Why are you hungry?
I'm hungry because things prices has gone to get a little money, you get anything.
Wait, you hungry because where do you work?
I run a vocational school that that is almost breaking down because people can even get data to come to school.
Or people not going to school?
I try to let the government has not provided subsidy to the school.
What is the name of your school?
Global Cosmos Vocational Training Center. I'm located in Caswell.
How long have you been running this school?
For more than 2 years, but that's not the point.
No, that's the point. I'm coming to a point. I'm coming to a point.
You get job.
For more than 3 years, you've been running this school. During hello, no. Let me ask you a question. No, you will not go. You will stay on the line. We'll talk.
You're hungry.
No, you're running school. You say you're hungry. Then what the people who are doing anything? What they will say now?
Because the money I get by me, you can't get working. On a church we are.
Oh, the Unity Party was in power. What were you doing?
What
were you doing 12 years ago? What were you doing 12 years ago?
I was just conducting a study class and
you see now, you were conducting just study class. Oh no, George, why you running whole vocational school and you're not grateful?
Good evening.
Hello?
Hello, good evening. What's your name and where you call from?
I love to see the issue from me because I ain't here from the United country. If you go on the school website, you see for your very self. But when we are living in the pool, when it comes to the stuff, it's on our school, that's my school took to the United country. And so the church is telling the people are not. When you call the chief, then look like you talk the president. What's in power in a man is a former mayor. You can do a bad interview. But now we can get it in second position. And then when he goes to people, you say, if you people can vote on personal brain, you should vote for me. You don't vote in a body. And people even have promised willing to that after 18 years, they are going to make him the next senator of my country. Because it's not benefiting for yourself, not benefiting for the country.
Thank you very much, Rosetta. Good evening.
Hello, your call is currently on hold.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name and where you call from?
Thank you. This is Stephen Kubo. I call from Tower.
Go ahead, Stephen.
Hello. Mr. Avi, they are playing with the 4 pictures in and there. So we will take our job for it and we'll not just take it from it. We will all it here and prosecute you. We will take all our resources back from it and kill your OA. It is a 9 years talking, so it's not going anywhere.
What is the truth that you have now? What is the truth that you have?
There is nothing to prove that for the government.
Ambassador Boga himself said that he squandered opportunities. Is that a lie?
No, he did not say he squandered. He said we, and we are is part of the we. My girl is part of the we.
Oh, really? That's your definition, right? That's your definition. Okay, no problem. Thank you.
No problem.
You're telling us what Ambassador Boga meant. I don't know whether you and Boga sat there and discussed that one, but he didn't call them. I don't know whether you and Ambassador Boga sat there and discussed that because he didn't call their names. He said we squandered opportunities. They were in, position, and they were the leaders of the country. He was talking about the Unity Party. So if you were there and you guys discussed that, and he called the president name, it's just news to me. Thank you.
Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening, sir. What's your name and where you call from?
Yes, Kenley, I joined from Komota.
Go ahead. Henry. Go ahead.
Yeah, ready? I guess serious problem we have in recent. You see, within 5.5 years, see, sitting there for Joey and I just do tangible things.
What do you want George Weah to do?
How do you describe something tangible?
Hello?
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 Yeah.
What do you want George Weah to do that is tangible in your mind?
All right. In the first place, within the first year, 7 years time, they suspended 3 government officials. Within 2 years time, they suspended 3 government officials in the government. You should know the corruption in the government.
You have not answered my question.
People are suffering. We are suffering.
What are your tangibles?
You see? We are suffering the
Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Are you the only person who lives in Liberia? Do you speak for everybody? Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. You're suffering? No, speak for yourself. I'm a Liberian also, so speak for yourself. Don't speak for me. So I'm asking you now, you suffering?
Yeah, I'm suffering.
Why are you suffering? Hello?
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 Yeah.
My name is Mark Jackson. I call you from Kadua.
Go ahead.
They're calling one.
No, like,
How do you care for?
Yeah, using different names.
He's good.
Mark Jackson, go ahead.
But why are you calling with different names? Why are you doing that?
Go ahead.
What do you say? What do you have to say?
Like the other caller just said, Avi, they country you're playing with.
Must you?
You got one way to talk me.
It's true. He's the same person who called.
Yeah. He's thinking the same one.
Let us come over. I don't know. Let us come over. Tanning one over.
Oh my goodness. You have to leave the line. Don't do that. You don't do that. You have to leave the line. You don't have to remain on the line. You've already made your point because I'm asking you questions you don't want to answer, but you're still on the line. You don't do that.
Good evening, Washington NTP.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, this is the Anson Bapu. We are one round to the chair. Let me say good evening to my little brother, Combe. No, come on,
You have to lower the volume of that radio behind you, please.
No, I'm here to I'm here to
But I'm hearing, I'm hearing something behind you.
Yeah, I found it now. Let me say thank you to Komowisa. Komowisa, look, don't mind those guys. Don't mind them, as the president said. What I want you guys to do for us, you help us to empower us as we go in zero towns and villages to talk to our people because they lie. The same way the guy calling the radio and lying. If ever one of us here say that, oh, the only message they get, the country how we are hungry, the people hungry, but the people hungry. But later on, just go to the club in the evening, you see the hungry people, thousands of them there, breaking, dying, and whining. So, Komowisa, please speak to the youth league and Action Wapo, chairman for We Are One Round Veteran. We need your support. I don't know if you mind, I could give you my number and you call us. We need your support because there's one round veteran. We have to make it and we'll come to pass. Thank you very much.
Thank you
very much.
for being a part of the program.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening. Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir.
Good evening, sir. Go ahead. What's your call from?
I'm George, calling from the TSA Junction.
Yeah, George.
Yeah, I should not manage guys. You put all the leaking in the water. You put all the leaking in the water, you should not mind it. You also winning it already. So, when they talk for you, I'm going to call it over. I'm going to call it from a play. I'm going to call it over. Yeah, so you should not worry yourself.
Okay, George. Thank you very much. Still on the line. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. What's your name and where you call from?
This is Ben Poor. This is Maryland County.
Maryland County. Go ahead, sir.
Well, sit and listen to our brother in studio. I don't think it is fair that you people are in studio and having this using a profanity against Joseph Baka, the incoming president of Liberia. You all sit there, you sit there, and you sit there, having using profanity against Baka, saying that it's insignificant. I don't think it's fair. Brother, all of you in that studio, I don't think it's fair that you sit there to listen to that book course. So you saw Joseph Baka.
Oh, really? Now, who do you call yourself now? Hello.
I don't think it's fair.
Let me ask you now. What does it mean when somebody says that you're insignificant? Does that mean that you're abusing the person? You need to learn. You don't call on the radio and just talk. You said you're the same person now abusing the guests in studio, and you calling and saying that somebody says that another person is insignificant, so the person is abusing them. You need to go and learn. That is so unfair. That is so unfair. If somebody describes your stand-up bearer in a way that you don't like, there is a way to talk about it. But nobody abused anybody. If somebody says you're insignificant, that they're not abusing you. So please learn. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening, sir. What's your name and where you call from?
My name is By Christian, and I call from the Moses Black community.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I want to inform the student guests. He has said all, and what I have to add there is that the Liberian people, I already see what is going on. There is no way that you see light and you prefer the darkness. I'm saying this to say that like when people have eyes to see, President Weah is going for 12 years and nothing is stopping. I want to say thank you.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Good evening. Oh. Good evening. I'm okay. What's your name and where you call from?
Thank you. My name is Chisa MJ. I'm calling from Mr. Kennedy.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, sir, for his deliberation. I believe the Avenue sir we know during the campaigns, and there is some Avenue sir that is speaking right now, because maybe his articulations have changed. You know, it is very difficult for somebody to defend lies. It is very, I never Avenue sir to be outspoken. Precise to the point at times.
Go to the point. Go to the point. What's the lie he's defending?
The lies is, you said the tangibles. What are the tangibles that people are talking about?
That President Weah is paying, his government is paying the WAS fees. Is that a lie?
It is a lie because President Weah is
No. You say it's a lie because is it not under George Weah government that WAS fees are being paid? Is that a lie?
Is it George Weah who paid it?
No.
Which one are we talking about?
When Ambassador Boyka was there, did they pay it? Did his government pay that money for WAS?
That's the end of lift and the unrealistic approach that you guys
What is unrealistic now? You're saying the man is lying. I'm asking you questions and you can't even defend what you're saying. But I can allow you. But what you're saying, everybody knows that what you're saying is not true. So I can allow you to say what is not true on the radio because you're saying the man cannot defend what he's saying. He's lying. I'm asking you, is this government not paying WAS fees? Yes or no?
The government is paying WAS fee.
Is this government? Hello.
Yeah.
You expect President Weah to take money from his pocket to go and pay for WAS fees? Is that what the Liberian people? Is that what the Liberian people asked the Unity Party government to do? My man, it's sad, man. It's really, really sad. And, sometimes it hurts my head, when I will have to go back and forth with you people. Because you know the facts and you want to distort the facts. How am I going to allow you to do that when I myself know that my son graduated from high school? I didn't pay a cent for him to take WAS. So how am I going to allow you to come and say that is not true when you know that you're benefiting, your relatives are benefiting? How do you do that? Is that how you campaign? It's so sad. You guys have to graduate and say the truth. If the Liberian people want to vote for Joseph Newman Boyka, they would do that.
Good evening. Good evening. Hello. Let's leave that person. Good evening. Good evening, sir. What's your name and where you call from?
Dennis, calling from Tower.
Go ahead, Dennis.
I want to say hi to you and City, and also to Arvin for his brilliant deliberation. People are quoting and seeing a lot of things that, most especially for my previous quarter. You say we are using Liberian people money when the same Liberian people money that we are using to help the Liberian were in your control for 12 years and you say to finance the Liberian.
Come on, logic. How?
You didn't use it for benefit like that. So we are saying, we will be and listen to our leader. We will not be violent. Thank you very much, Sister, and thank you, Arden. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
What's your name and where you call from, sir?
Paul Sosa is my name. I call from Proclamation.
Go ahead, Paul.
Thank you. Those enemy positions, I don't know, the nation. If that were me, I would already going to call on any of this show because people don't have nothing to tell the Liberian people. Could you imagine because of the old man, he don't be care for himself before time or care for other person. They make all the good United Palestine, all of them left. If you check among the United Palestine, after Joseph Boyka, you now name 3 persons who from the party itself. All the Sansa and United Palestine members are there, all of them they left because of the party issue. Because you now have no leadership ability, this is a man who don't even care for anything, like even take care of himself.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. No. Thank you. We're trying to control.
When you want to speak, you speak to the issue. You don't go behind people. Yeah. No, I don't know how you guys manage, but when I want to, get you upset. It's a difficult thing. Because I don't know how, the line is. If you're speaking, speak to the issues. Because certain things you say, some people misconstrue what you say. If somebody says you're insignificant, it means you're not important to any process. So it's not, the person is not, abusing you, but people understand things differently. So please speak to the issue. Exactly. It's very, very important. Oh, you still on the line? Man, please, please, I beg you, please.
I think he's left already.
Yeah,
It's
please,
terrible.
I beg
It's
you.
very terrible.
He's still there. He's not gone. He's still there.
Good evening.
Good evening, Washington.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm constrained to call back.
Who's
What I was.
My man.
No. Don't monopolize the story.
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm constrained not to take you because you're not being truthful. And if you're not truthful, we will now allow you to spew out anything that you shouldn't be spewing out on this radio. It's unfair, and we're not going to allow you to do that. If you call and say that George Weah is using the Liberian people money to pay, WAS fees, that the Liberian people money he's supposed to use. Joseph Newman Boaka and the Unity Party government did not do that 12 years ago. The Liberian people are appreciative. Parents call on this radio every night to thank the president for paying their children WAS fee. It's not one, it's not two. And so if you come on this radio and say because the president is using the Liberian people money, he shouldn't take the credit, that is so unfair. And you know that your children or your sisters and brothers are in University of Liberia. They're not paying any cent. You must be grateful. You can come on this radio and come and justify why, the government should not take the glory for that, or President Weah should not take the glory, because he is the one at the helm of power. So whatever policies that are, implemented under his government, if he's going back for re-election, he will use that to talk to the people. It's common sense, isn't it?
Good evening. Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Just listening to the monitor.
Hello?
Hello. Yeah, hello.
Where are you calling from? What is your name and where are you joining us from? Please go ahead.
Yes. Titi, is it ELBC?
This is ELBC.
Okay, Titi, I thank God that you hear my voice. See, I don't have much money to talk. But the people that are talking say that John, we are administration get hard time, they don't know. It is the ATM terminal that increase the tax rate. They're not costing the country in the country for any time. For any time, they don't get we are.
But I Ellen brought APM terminal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The working people, the tax rate of $20, it increases to $280. Yeah, that's why costing the country in the country, they don't know. They don't know.
Okay.
Okay, so we could take one more call, and then we wrap up with the calls. Do we have one there? So go ahead, sir. You're a last caller. What's your name and where you call from? Oh, how are you, Mom?
Okay,
Marita, go ahead.
Yeah. Today I want to tell you thank you tonight. You see, Titi, those people did not even know what to say. Because they ask you, they tell you, the money of the you see, to pay what you do the one and I for money. Why Joseph Baker and no one use the for money? Why they never use the money to pay our children watching? Why they never use the people money to build a road? Why they never use the money to build a hospital? Why they never use the money? Today I can tell you kind of citizen factor. We enjoy election city. 12 years we never enjoy it. Why they never use the money to get election city? Today we no longer going to civil cover. We enjoy water. We used to go 12 years, we used to go civil cover. Why they never use the money? So they tell you that they don't get anything to say. Nothing they ever to tell us. They wouldn't see the ever can't tell us to say like President Weah using the money. Yes, President
going.
Why they never do it? And some of them, they use money to bring war in the country, to destroy the country. They said they were destroy the country. In 3 years, they were going to build the mansion. 2 years, they never built a mansion.
Marita, you're
So they are confused. They know what to say.
Thank you,
They
Mama.
don't know what to say. When they get in, nothing to say, they go say that.
Thank you.
Use the country money to build a country.
Thank you very much. It's just that I'm so admiring her enthusiasm.
You gotta tell me what you crew or more.
Mama, we don't do. I think Mama, we don't do.
Oh, okay, but it's all in capital.
So, I mean, we're back to you. You listen to the views and opinions of the people. So you just respond, and in that you just include your parting comments.
So thank you ever so much. I'd like to appreciate the callers who've been in support for the re-elections of President George. We are the re-election of President George. We are on the first ballot. Again, we said it over and over that there are elements who are parading and masquerading with this false sense of entitlement that they were born with government and they will remain in government forever. Baka and his Asian provocateurs. See how they are spewing out unsolicited arrogance oozing out on their comments. Listen to them. You can see that this band of despots and desperados, they are only going to come back to loot and to squander the last resources of the masses of our people. And that's why we are seeing this in an irrefutable and resounding thing, that our people are aware that Joseph Yuma Baga cannot even go in the southeast to campaign. Baga has not even left his house to campaign in this rainy season. Baga is politically been retired already. He's been placed in a room. They've been told not to come around because he's not fit. He's not fit. See, President, we are jogging in the rain. DC. Look at PHP, for example, the PHP Park. Look at the Invisible Park. Look at the Westman Park. Look at the Joe Community Park. Look at Johnson Road. So I'm telling you, there is plethora and cascades of developments that President we has been able to initiate over a period of time. And that's what we are saying to these people, these false aristocrats who are parading with false sense of entitlement that this country does not belong to Baka alone. The people struggling are aware and they are coming out aggressively to demonstrate unquestionable political press in terms of the re-election of the Excellency President George Manneh. We'd like to say thank you ever so much for the opportunity given us. The variables, the tangibles are clear, and the people are going to elect President Weah on his records, and not on the basis of sentiment, and not on the basis of who have been around for 42 years and have been the mere political parasite and liability on Liberian people resources.
Thank you very much.
President Weah, history is clear, and we are calling on all citizens to refrain from violence, equally so, to be vigilant and be mobilized in terms of any other attempt that will circumvent the democratic basis of our president's re-election. Thank you all so much for the time.
Mr. Wise. You are Mr. Wise. Thank you so much for taking up
I thought we were going back to the conversation.
Thank you so much for taking up your time to sit with us this evening on Open Conversation. We highly appreciate that. Who do we have tomorrow?
So tomorrow we're going to be having on this panel, we're going to be having Edwin Tistel. I tried reaching out through Canon, but it seems not possible. But Edwin is all set for tomorrow. We're going to be talking district number 2. District number 2 tomorrow will be on this platform, and everything will be on good. I want to say thank you for showing up, and I want to say thank you for your articulation.
I'm from district number 2. I'm calling all the people from district number 2, but they're not paying attention to me.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I keep saying to you guys, if you want to run in your district and we haven't called you, you can reach out to us, and we want to, have you on the platform
give you
so
an
that you can
opportunity,
talk
man.
to your people in your district. And I'm specific about district number 2 because I'm from district number 2. So I want to hear what the people or the person who's running or all the people running in that district.
So I think
what
we're gonna have
offer tomorrow.
a specific
Mr. Tisdale,
interest.
I'm here for you tomorrow.
A specific interest in district number 2. Even if we have Mr. Tisdale tomorrow, we're still going to dig in. Yeah, we're still going to dig in district number 2. So he's following. I think he's following because he just sent me a message that he's following. So Mr. Tisdale tomorrow, you are expected to be on the Nation's Proud. For me, it's a bite.
Join us tomorrow, God willing. Thanks to all of you who we had a fuss with this evening. Let's do it again tomorrow. The thing about it is, when you come on the platform, just be truthful and say what your candidate can do. That is all we ask from you. Thank you so much for being with us this evening.
From the east to the west, north to the south, yeah, let's come together as one. They say united we stand, divided we fight. If we not celebrate, we do it for you. Voila, you from Gentile, you from Lower Country, you from Maryland. Voila, you from Rewa. I'm about that way on your people. I'm up on the fine way.